Imagine you're taking your speaking exam and they asked you, what do you think of climate change? What are your views on global warming? What can governments do to promote renewable energies? If your face was like this and you have no clue on how to answer these tricky questions, this video is for you. Hi there, my name is Monica and I'm an English teacher in the south of Spain. And in today's video, I bring you 15 super cool advanced environment words that you can use and you will leave your examiners dumbfounded. So let's begin. Let's begin first with a set of nouns that you need to use, okay? Later on, we will move on to adjectives related to the environment. And finally, we will see some verbs that you can use in relation to this topic. Right. Noun number one that you must use is, of course, the term global warming. What is global warming? Global warming is the gradual rise of the Earth's temperature caused by carbon dioxide and other gases in the atmosphere. An example that you may use is scientists fear that global warming has gone beyond the point of no return. The point of no return is a super interesting expression that you can use, and it means that you have actually gone and passed the limit and there is no turning back. It's very, very unlikely to give a solution to that problem. The second term that you need to use is carbon footprint. Carbon footprint. So basically every one of us leaves a carbon footprint which is related to the amount of carbon dioxide that we produce and the activities that we do as well. An example that you can use with this word could be, we all need to look for ways to reduce our carbon footprint. And pay attention because a very typical verb that goes with carbon footprint is the verb to reduce, okay? To reduce, to bring down the amount. Another word that you cannot forget is air pollution. Air pollution is basically all the harmful substances that are in the air from vehicles or from factories. And one of the examples that you could use is people experience a wide range of negative health effects from being exposed to air pollution, such as pneumonia or bronchitis. Now let's talk about cars or vehicles in general. So the gas or the steam that is produced when a vehicle is running is called exhaust fumes. And pay attention to the pronunciation. We say exhaust fumes. It's similar to the adjective exhausted in English, which means very tired, okay? So remember, we say exhaust fumes. An example that you can use is the city streets are filthy and choked with exhaust fumes. Remember that filthy is another word that means very, very dirty. Now, another worrying concern related to the environment is the ice caps, okay? What are ice caps? The ice caps are the thick layers of ice that cover the North and the South Pole. The problem with these ice caps is that they are melting and therefore they are causing sea levels to rise. One example that could be used would be melting ice caps are causing a rise of sea level, threatening to wipe out coastal populations worldwide. Remember that to wipe out means to destroy or to eliminate completely. So basically cities that are on the coast are very likely to disappear due to these melting ice caps. Our next word is deforestation. Deforestation, which means basically the destruction of forests by people. You could use the following example. Deforestation is destroying large areas of rainforests. On the other hand, you can use a positive alternative to deforestation, which is reforestation, which basically means, again, to grow plants and trees in an area that is empty. One example could be the company promotes sustainable agriculture and reforestation in that region. How do you call a large period of time with little or no rain? Yes, so the term is drought. Drought. And pay attention to the pronunciation that has nothing to do with the spelling. Drought. So basically drought is when there is no rain and the soil, see, la tierra, the soil becomes cracked and dry. So one example that you can use is this year's severe drought has ruined the crops. Has ruined the crops. The crops is or means el cultivo, okay? So whatever you grow on a land, those are the crops. Now let's not forget to speak about fossil fuels, which are one of the key elements or the key terms related to the environment. So fossil fuels are fuels such as gas, coal or oil that were formed underground millions of years ago. The problem with these fossil fuels is that we tend to overuse them and we are kind of running out of these fossil fuels. So one example that you could use is fossil fuels supply 85% of the nation's energy. Always when talking about fossil fuels, the perfect alternative would be to mention renewable energies. What are renewable energies? They are natural resources such as solar energy or wind energy that are always available and that will never run out. One example to be used could be renewable energies produce neither greenhouse gases nor polluting emissions. Now it's time for our adjectives. So adjective number 1 is polluted. Polluted. So obviously polluted is related to the word pollution, which means contamination. Therefore, polluted means contaminated. And we can use polluted with polluted rivers, polluted air, polluted atmosphere, polluted environment. The second adjective that you mustn't forget is energy efficient. Energy efficient. This is very typical with the bulbs for our lamps, okay? So basically it's a device or a building that uses relatively little energy to provide the power it needs. So for example, if you have an old fridge or a very old oven and you need to replace it, they will always tell you in the shop, okay, you should replace your old appliances with more energy efficient ones. When speaking about the environment, we many times refer to things that really are not beneficial for the environment, and this is the adjective that you need to use is harmful. Harmful. Okay, so something harmful means that it has a negative or a bad effect on your health or in general on the environment in this case. So one example that we can use is pollution is harmful to the environment. A synonym for harmful could be damaging. So pollution is damaging for the environment. So try to alternate and replace them and interchange them constantly in your speaking and writing exams. And the last adjective for today is sustainable. Sustainable means that it's something that has little or no bad effect on the environment and can last for a long time. An example would be, some people claim that a plant-based diet is not as sustainable as we would like to think. And finally, let's take a look at what verbs can we use when talking about the environment. Verb number 1 is to ban. To ban, which means to officially forbid or prohibit something. One example to use would be, the government should ban single-use plastic in order to reduce pollution. Remember that when speaking about materials or plastic, for example, we can use single use. It means that obviously you only use it once, or reusable, okay? Reusable bags or reusable materials that you can constantly use them and use them over and over again. Our next verb is to curb. To curb. And to curb means to control or to limit something that is not wanted. For instance, you could say, the government should act to curb overfishing. It means that the government should do something in order to put fishing or overfishing under control. And finally, our last set of verbs that you can constantly use in this type of situations when you have serious problems or issues are the verbs to tackle or to fight against or to combat. So all of them means to try to deal with something or to try to stop something from happening because it's unpleasant. For instance, the government proposed tough measures to tackle environmental pollution. There you go. I hope you are greener after watching this video. By the way, thank you so much for watching this video right until the end. You are a champion. And remember to use any of these expressions the next time you are faced with the topic of the environment. Leave me a comment down below if you know any other environment words that you like to use, and see you very, very soon. Take care. Bye.